For these examples, we're going to be looking at the topic zero-factor property. So in these couple examples, a lot of them are a little unique. So starting with number 2, we have 4t squared minus 25 equals 0. Right away, we notice that we are missing a b value. We only have our a value and our c value. And these terms are being subtracted. Okay, so we're just observing what we see from the problem. Also notice that our a and our c value are perfect squares. So we are going to use the concept of perfect squares to factor this problem. So what that means is I am going to have two parenthesis sets, okay, where one has a minus and one has a plus. Okay. Then I'm going to take the square root of my a value and then the square root of my c value, and that's going to give me my factors. So square root of 4 is 2, so this is 2t, and the square root of 25 is 5, so 5, 5. So that means I have two factors of 2t minus 5 and 2t plus 5 equals 0. Now I can set them separately equal to 0, and I can get my two possible answers. So for the first one, I get t is equal to 5/2. And for my second one, I get t is equal to -5/2. Okay, and this was because we used the concept of perfect squares. Okay, let's look at the next example. On this example, we have 6x squared minus x equals 15. With the zero-factor property, we know that our equation has to be equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides, and I get 6x squared minus x minus 15 is equal to 0. This looks like a normal quadratic equation, so I'm going to do factoring by the AC method. So my A and my C value was 6 and -15. Multiply that together, I get -90. And my B value is -1. So I need two factors that multiply to -90 but add to -1. And that's going to be -10 and +9. So I have 6x squared minus 10x plus 9x minus 15 equals 0. Do my factor by grouping. And the GCF I can take out of the first one is a 2x. So I'm left with 3x minus 5. And then for the next one, I can take out a 3, and I'm left with 3x minus 5. Remember that my parentheses have to match. If they don't match, I did something wrong. So I have the factors 3x minus 5 and 2x plus 3 equals 0. Now all I have left to do is set them separately equal to 0. And then solve for x in each one. So the first one, I have x is equal to 5/3. And the next one, I have x is equal to -3/2. Okay. So that one was just the normal AC method. Okay, and then the last one here, oops. Number 4, I have 10x squared plus 100x equals 0. Notice how I'm missing a c value. Since I'm missing that c value, instead of trying to factor normally using the AC method, I'm just going to see if I can take out a GCF from the left side. The GCF I can take out is a 10x, and I would be left with x plus 10 equals 0. Notice that I already have my two factors. I have my 10x and I have my x plus 10. Neither of those can be simplified further. So I'm going to set each of these separately equal to 0. So 10x equals 0, x plus 10 equals 0. And then I'm just going to solve for x on each one. So the first one I'm dividing by 10, and I get x is equal to 0. The second one I subtract 10, and I get x is equal to negative 10. So my two answers here are 0 or negative 10.